Have you ever been caught in a debate where neither side is really winning? What if you could steer the conversation in such a way that your opponent starts to question their own ideas? Today, we'll explore 6 simple techniques that will help you win any argument, even one about whether or not cucumbers belong on pizza. The truth is, winning an argument isn't about proving you're right. It's about convincing and guiding others to see your point of view. Our brains naturally cling to our beliefs, a trait called confirmation bias. When we're challenged, we often dig in our heels rather than reconsider our position. However, with the right approach, you can gently move past that bias and steer the discussion to a more productive place. Before you begin, ask yourself, when was the last time you actually listened instead of waiting for your turn to speak? Let's begin our journey with a technique as old as philosophy itself, the Socratic Method. Rather than simply stating your opinion, ask thoughtful questions that prompt your opponent to reconsider their ideas. This method, inspired by the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, works by letting questions do the heavy lifting. For example, if someone argues that raising the minimum wage will hurt businesses, try asking, do you really think a business can thrive if its workers can't afford basic necessities? This forces them to consider the practical impact of their view and may expose a flaw in their reasoning. It's like offering them a mirror to see their own logic. Use the Socratic Method next time, and you might be surprised at how quickly the conversation shifts. It might seem counterintuitive, but truly listening can be your strongest strategy. Active listening means paying close attention to your opponent instead of just planning your next comeback. As they speak, focus on understanding their point. Then, gently repeat part of their argument in your own words and ask for clarification. For instance, if they say, reducing regulations will solve all problems, you might reply, so, you believe fewer rules fix everything? Can you explain how that works in every case? This simple step shows you're engaged and can reveal gaps or contradictions in their logic. Active listening turns a one-sided debate into a conversation where your opponent's own words work in your favor. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. After your opponent makes a point, pause for 3 to 4 seconds before responding. That brief silence creates a moment of tension, pushing them to fill the gap with extra details or even backtrack on what they said. This pause forces them to think more deeply about their statement, often exposing weaknesses without you having to say a word. Use this technique to let your points sink in. A well-timed pause can be more persuasive than any immediate retort. Keeping your cool is key in any debate. When you stay calm, you not only appear more confident, but also make your arguments clearer. Before speaking, take a deep breath and give yourself a moment to settle your thoughts. This simple act helps prevent emotional reactions and keeps the discussion focused on the issues at hand. For example, if you feel your temper rising, pause and breathe deeply. A calm demeanor shows you're in control, making it easier for your opponent and your audience to listen to what you have to say. Composure can turn a heated debate into a respectful exchange of ideas. Facts are important, but stories connect with people. Emotional framing means wrapping your argument in a relatable story or personal experience. Instead of simply citing statistics, share a brief anecdote that brings your point to life. Imagine you're discussing the benefits of a good night's sleep. Rather than saying, studies show that quality sleep improves memory and mood, try, every morning, when I wake up feeling truly rested and ready to tackle the day, I'm reminded that a solid night's sleep isn't just about feeling good. It lays the foundation for a positive, productive day. This method makes your argument more vivid and memorable. Emotional framing taps into feelings, helping your audience connect with your ideas on a deeper level. Our final strategy is the mirror technique. This involves gently reflecting your opponent's words back to them to highlight any inconsistencies. When they make a broad statement, simply rephrase it and ask for clarification. For example, if they claim, our policy benefits everyone equally, you might ask, if it benefits everyone equally, why do some groups seem to gain more advantages than others? This subtle reflection encourages your opponent to rethink their claim and can expose flaws in their logic. It's a quiet yet effective way to keep the conversation on track and remind everyone of the real issues at hand. In summary, winning an argument isn't about overpowering your opponent. It's about using smart, straightforward techniques to guide the conversation. By employing the Socratic Method, practicing active listening, taking a strategic pause, maintaining your composure, using emotional framing, and applying the mirror technique, you can transform any debate into a constructive dialogue. Next time you find yourself in a debate, whether over a serious topic or just the last slice of pizza, try out one or more of these strategies. Remember, the goal isn't to embarrass your opponent, but to open up a space space where both sides can learn and grow. Take a deep breath, choose a technique, and put it into practice during your next discussion. With a bit of practice, you'll see that persuading others doesn't have to be stressful. It can be a fun and enlightening experience. Now, go ahead and try these techniques for yourself. Notice how a little calm, some thoughtful questions, and a few well-timed pauses can transform your debates into opportunities for real connection and understanding. Happy debating!